All right, we're ready for questions for Coach then.
This week, coming in, everybody kind of knows it's an overmatched opponent is a good word for personnel-wise. What do you look at your personnel as far as what you want to get out of those guys? You kind of want to get some different guys in there? Or?
Yeah, it's more similar to week one. I mean, this is an opponent. This is a good defense now. I mean, they were the number 6 ranked defense in FCS football last year. They play together. They've been in the same scheme now for a number of years. Defense coordinator does a really good job. They play sound. They play hard. A little bit different from ULM because there's a new staff, a lot of new things. These guys have played a lot of football and played a lot of football together in the same system. So it's a challenge for us because they do things so sound. They don't really give up a ton of big plays. They play top down in the secondary. So a little bit different from the scheme we just saw, which was very aggressive in the box, doing some different things. So we need to execute at a high level. And yeah, it'd be great to get some guys in, but at the end of the day, it's really about us executing. And it's one of those games similar to ULM in that way, where it's more about us than them.
You have experience coaching at that level. What was the mentality of these places where you would go?
Yeah, we should have beat UConn in 2016. We lose them 21-20 on the last drive of the game, and you go into the game and you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. You go out and play, and you're not really expected to win the game, but how many opportunities and examples do we have to show of FCS teams beating the brakes off of FBS teams? So it's absolutely possible, and if we don't play the way we're supposed to play, that could easily happen.
On Saturday, when you guys go down, or when they come back and tie the game, and you guys go back down the field and make the score to go ahead,
Yep.
How confident were you? Because it seems like in years past that wasn't a sure thing that Kentucky would be able to respond once they were kind of hit.
Yeah, I thought that was a big drive. I think we came out, threw it on the first drive on the out cut to Wandell, first down. We hit the zone replay to Chris, big hit, and then we kind of moved down. We ended up getting the screen, to Justin, which was a big play. I mean, what people got to notice about that play is what Luke Fortner did was just incredible. I mean, he comes out on the screen, and he's on what we call rat kill, so he's trying to go clean up the backside, and well, he knows he can't crack back on him because it's a penalty. And he saw that the angle at which the linebacker was on, he ended up just scraping paint, is what we call it, and just try to scrape paint and basically go set a pick. And I mean, there's not many opportunities that an O-lineman gets to do that in a game. And he's been watching special teams. He watches those guys do it, receivers. I mean, that's sprung the play. And those details is really what showed up. And we ended up finishing that drive. We never felt like we should have been stopped. So but that's just our standard. It's not like any different opponent. It's just that's where we're trying to go to.
I know the fans are pretty excited about the versatility this offense has shown the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I think last week I sat in here with you guys and said we got to run the ball better. And that was obviously a focal point of the week. And you don't go into it thinking you're going to call 50 runs, but like Coach said, just scratch where it itches. And I think that was something that definitely was nice to see our guys win the line of scrimmage, do it in a manner of which it was no contest and it wasn't even close. And that's what you want. You want us to be able to run the football when we want to be able to do it, and throw it absolutely when we want to, but also when we need to. And I thought we had a decent balance. I mean, we called 26 passes and only 18 go on the call on the stat sheet, but we called 26. Sacks, scrambles, little things like that show up, and end up getting to that kind of 25 to 30 mark is kind of where I like to live in the pass game. But if you have to throw it more, we'll throw it more. If we got to run it more, we'll run it more.
So not to give away the game plan, if you wanted to run the ball better last week, what do you want to do better this week?
Ball security. I mean, that was our biggest focal point today. We did a ball security circuit with all the skill players today. Everybody went through it. 3 stations, 3 drills, guys doing multiple different ball security things. You clean that part up, you feel like we played a pretty clean game. I mean, we're not always going to be able to do everything we want. Steve Wilson's a good coach. I mean, he did some really good things on third down against us that showed up. Last time I saw it was in the NFL, and I wasn't ready for it. It was a great job by him, but we ended up still being able to move the chains in some of those third downs. But it was more, a couple of guys made some plays, but ball security and really just, again, owning the line of scrimmage. we own the line of scrimmage this week and play physical, the rest will take care of itself.
When a guy fumbles twice right before he goes into the end zone as opposed to somewhere else in the field, does that say something to you specifically about those situations?
I've been there, but I think it's probably just maybe that relaxation right before, like right as you're crossing the plane, it's that little bit of relaxation that might happen. And that's really just, that's situational football. That's situations, he's been put in that situation, now we can learn from that situation. Thank God it didn't cost us a ball game, right? And he knows that. But now we'll see what he does in the situation again. But I have full confidence in him to be able to go. I mean, I never thought for a second, oh man, he's going to fumble. I just didn't. When we kept giving him the football, and his ball security was very good for the most part, except for those bogus plays.
Some coaches, when a mistake like that happens, might put a guy on the bench for a while. It doesn't seem like you're a guy who relegates people to the doghouse. What's your thought?
It's just kids make mistakes. I made some bad calls. I didn't get benched. So at the end of the day, we're all going to make some bad calls, bad decisions, bad plays, and I truly believe on game day, it's my responsibility and our job as coaches to act more as caddies, and just, hey, let's keep playing. We got to keep our best players positive and keep them upbeat, and that was the goal there. I mean, he had a hot hand. He was doing a great job all game. He just had a couple of bad plays.
You went back and watched the film. How would you evaluate Will and the way he went through it?
Really good. I mean, what we asked him to do, he made great decisions. He threw the pick on the same play as the first game of the year, same play, but there was a different look. We were trying to give Smoke a one-on-one opportunity. They did a great job of masking man coverage and playing zone, so it spooked him on the coverage read. He comes down to Isaiah, he's late, he tries to rip it, it's behind. Just the multiple things there, but I thought he did a really good job of running the whole operation. I mean, we probably have about 5 or 6, audibles in the game plan, and he handled all those great. And I think you guys saw his ability to run the football also gave us some yards. I mean, I think he had like 40 yards rushing, which added to all those rushing yards that we had. So I was pleased with him. He played really hard, he played tough, and I think the guys are starting to rally around him even more.
What is Will working on right now in terms of those intermediate throws to avoid that, that constant situation?
Just take something off it a little bit. When your arm's so live, sometimes you got to slow it down a little bit, and that's hard to tell any thrower of the football to slow your motion down because it's just not natural to do. So it's more so just continuing to get those reps at the throws that he's missed. And it's those kind of short intermediate in-breakers that we need to continue to work on. We worked on them a ton today, and just try to get him to think a little bit more, hey, head height with a little bit more of that softball there as opposed to a rip and throw, and he'll get it. He'll be all right.
Like you saw, Derek Carr had one like that last night around the goal line. So
yeah,
like a guy that's played forever.
Yeah, and he has a live arm too, man. It's one of those things sometimes when you have such a live arm, and it's difficult to decelerate your arm. It's just not something you ever really want to teach a kid to do, but it's something that I do think for him to just maybe take a deep breath on some of those throws to relax as opposed to get tense and then try to rip it. Deep breath, calm, relaxation, base balance, body position, be in good shape.
What do you think about Saturday when you saw him put someone in the box on the regular season?
I feel fine about it. It was one of those things that we were prepared for it. We had some really good things in the run game. I felt like our staff did a great job of scheming up our run game this week. And we knew that we had to run the ball to do some of those things to get what we wanted to get accomplished in that game because of how they played all that press man and all those green dogs I was talking to you guys about last week with the play action isn't as good because they just add on and blitz. So really we wanted to run the football, and I liked it. It was great that they packed the box and we were still able to run the football.
Let's talk about Luke. We talked about Luke's play. How athletic is this offense? They're known for being physical and power run game. Are they athletic enough that you can do some of the things you want to do on screens?
Oh yeah, screens. We ran crack toss about 5 times in the game, which is tackles pulling, guards pulling, tight ends pulling. We ran pin and pull, which is guards and centers pulling. So they're plenty athletic to do it. It's just about giving them some opportunities to do it. And I think that my philosophy is and our philosophy as a staff is variety in the run game. You know, having some variety, be able to have our go-tos that we want to still get to, but we need to be able to scheme people up not only in the pass game but in the run game. And I think that was something that our tackles and athleticism up front allowed us to do this past week.
Last one, Jeff. You talked about the back's vision a little bit in week 1 and leaving some, empty yards on the field. Did that take a step up?
Yeah, it definitely did. We improved in that dramatically. We were hitting all those zones on the backside, which is what we're trying to get accomplished on those things. And you saw Chris hit some of those crease, and Smoke had a couple really good runs, and we definitely saw improvement. I knew we'd get that fixed. That's something that you see, 1 or 2 times, and you can get it fixed. And those guys are diligent, they're conscientious, and Coach Settle's a great coach and got those guys right.
Okay, folks, thank you.
Thank you.